Hey guys, Brandon here from Adventure Archaeology. If you're new to the channel and you read the title to this video, you probably think that I'm a grave robber. That is not the case. However, I am a treasure hunter and a history lover. And today we are out chasing a legend of lost gold. In early 1865, the Civil War was encroaching on Alabama in a fierce fashion. General Wilson was moving southward, leaving a wake of destruction in his path. His mission was to burn manufacturing facilities, crippling the South. With word of General Wilson approaching, one wealthy plantation owner made a last-ditch effort to hide his fortune. Hardy Clements quickly took his $100,000 in gold and buried it somewhere on his 1-million-acre plantation. 2 years pass, and Clements, still shaken from the close encounter of the Union forces, never retrieves his gold from his hidden location. Clements died in 1867 without ever revealing the exact location of his gold. His fortune still awaits recovery to this day. Rumors through the years have stated he could have hid the large amount of gold in several locations, anywhere from beneath his large house to the hog fields, or even in the plantation's slave graveyard. Today we are going to dive into this mystery and explore a few of these areas. Hey guys, now that you have a little bit of a background story, we're going to go ahead and get this adventure started in the slave graveyard. Let me give you a quick tour. So here is what a typical 1860s graveyard would have looked like. A bunch of unmarked headstones, which really, they're not even truly headstones. They're just rocks. These are typical rocks for our area. We don't know if it was women, children, or men buried here. We know none of their names. We know nothing about them. It's really sad. You can really see, though, why someone with an extensive amount of gold would think that this would be a prime spot to bury the gold. As sad as it sounds, these people were considered worthless in their time. Therefore, hiding something that's extremely valuable in a worthless piece of ground in a worthless graveyard would be the perfect place. Now, I have a varying opinion on that. The legend has that the gold is either in this graveyard, on the creek, or underneath the plantation house. Nobody has ever found the gold, so I don't think it's in any of those places. You know where I think it is? I think that it is in the family plot. And the reason that I say that is, this slave graveyard is actually closer to the house that was the central part of the plantation. So, if Wilson's raid was coming in and they were going to take and burn and basically confiscate the gold, why would you put the gold anywhere close to the house, which would be the main place where they would hit? I think that they would put it in a further place, further away from the house. So the family plot is actually on the complete opposite side of this million-acre plantation, which is going to require a bit of a drive and hike. So we'll get back to you when we get there. How the tables have turned. This once prominent family is not so prominent anymore. Their graveyard is in a sad state of affairs. That headstone is completely snapped in half with a tree laying on top of it. That would be Nanny Clements. Who we're looking for is, his name is Hardy Clements. It's crazy to think, though, how things work. The slave graveyard is now well upkept. The grass is all cut, and here we are with these guys that once owned a 1-million-acre plantation. That's a recent one. He died in 1925, definitely not who we're looking for. And their graveyard is completely overgrown with nobody in the world that cares. And just to kind of put in perspective, if you don't know how big 1,000,000 acres is, 1,000,000 acres is the equivalent to 1,560 square miles. Dr. Alsey Clements. That's not him either. We're looking for somebody that died in 1867. Looks like a critter's been having a good time right here. Dug a hole right on top of this grave. Ooh, this one's getting close. Look at that one. Ferdinand Clements, born February 15th, 1842, and died February 24th or 27th, I can't tell, 1857. So that's about 10 years earlier than Mr. Hardy's grave, which is who we're looking for. Let's see here. Well, look at there. Take the liar out of me. Somebody had brought flowers to this grave at some point. Let's see. That has nothing on it. Let's see here. So we know that we're in the right age bracket, though, by seeing that grave of 1857. We're looking for, like I said, though, 1867. Keep walking through spider webs. They're bad here in Alabama this time of year. Here's another one that is toppled and fell off. That's a newer one, 1923. That one's newer, 1925. I cannot get a date off of these. I probably could if I took the time, but they look newer. They don't look as aged as the other ones in the back. There's an 1883. There's an 1890. Let's see about these right here. I didn't look at those. These are not as well marked, or someone stole the headstones. That one's going to be 1900 and 1906. Let's see. Well, I actually see some head or footstones over here as well. Right there. Well, I don't know, guys. I mean, we're on a bit of a hill here, but I don't see any other graves other than these 15 or 20 that we just looked at. Looks like a footstone here. And a fairly large game trail, probably for deer. That's kind of odd. For me to want to find the famous plantation owner's grave at his own family plot and not be able to find his headstone is a bit interesting to me. And maybe that's just my imagination running wild, but I don't know. I do not know. But $100,000 in gold in 1865 would be worth millions and millions today. So I'm sure that there's been many, many treasure hunters along the way that have really probably even desecrated parts of these graveyards looking for that treasure. Even though I don't think it's a super well-known legend. The other problem with trying to find this particular legend, or this gold, if you will, is the fact that now that 1 million acre plantation has been divided, and there's so many different landowners that you really can't get permission for everything. Like, these graveyards are public land, so you can get to them and look, but it's not like you can dig, and not like I would want to. But to get the permission for all of that acreage would be, like I said, next to impossible. Oh well, I guess all I can do is keep looking. I mean, for years, I've walked the creek that runs through the middle of this plantation and swam in it as a kid. So, I mean, it's very possible it could be on the creek bank, as people have stated, but I've covered miles and miles of that. So, I think the best bet is to take a look in these graveyards with a GPR unit. And that's not something that I necessarily feel comfortable doing. Y'all let me know in the comments below, though. What do you think? Is it unethical and disrespectful to read a grave with a GPR unit? If not, it may be worth a revisit, especially to these couple graveyards, to take a look around and see what's beneath the ground. It's not like we'd be digging, we would just be getting a visual of what's beneath the ground. The other factor is, what if somebody did find it and they did not claim, or they did not let anyone know that they found it? The treasure could be long, long gone. Somebody got their gold and didn't let the government know because they didn't want to pay taxes on it, or they didn't want the landowners to... Ooh, there's a broke headstone. Maybe that's him over here. Let's see here. I don't think that's him. That's definitely not him. Here's another one right here, broke. Died June 27th, 1862. Huh. I guess those are footstone markers all through there. Kind of got sidetracked. But y'all let me know in the comments below. What would you do? Well, I hope that y'all enjoyed this bit of an adventure. It's far from being solved, but these local legends really piqued my interest. And I hope that it piqued y'all's as well. If it did, leave me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider it. We will see you guys in the next video.